Emma freezes mid-step on Westfield Mall's second floor. The escalator ahead shimmers, then transforms into a mechanical monster. Metal teeth gnash as screaming shoppers tumble into grinding gears. Blood pools beneath twisted steel. The vision shatters, normal escalator hums peacefully, but the metallic taste of fear coats her tongue. "Jake, we need to leave. Now." Her hands tremble as distant machinery echoes through the corridors, matching the rhythm of her racing heart. "Emma, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost." Jake sets down his orange Julius, studying his best friend's pale face. They're sitting in the food court of Westfield Valley Fair Mall in San Jose, California, surrounded by the typical Saturday afternoon crowd of families and teenagers. Emma's hands shake as she grips her iced coffee. "I saw something. The escalator near Macy's. It's going to malfunction. People are going to—" She trails off, unable to voice the horrific images still burning in her mind. Sarah arrives, sliding into the booth with shopping bags from Forever 21. "Hey guys, ready for our movie?" The 4:30 showing starts in 20 minutes. She notices Emma's distress immediately. "What happened?" "Emma thinks the escalator's dangerous," Jake explains, his tone gentle but skeptical. He's witnessed Emma's feelings before, sometimes accurate, often just anxiety playing tricks. The mall's ambient sounds seem amplified to Emma. Children laughing, cell phones ringing, the distant hum of machinery. But underneath it all, she hears something else, a grinding mechanical whir that makes her stomach clench. "I know how it sounds," Emma whispers, leaning forward. "But I've never seen anything this vivid before." The metal was twisting, people were screaming, and there was so much. "Okay," Sarah interrupts, her practical nature taking over. "Let's say you're right. What do you want to do about it?" Emma looks toward the escalator area, visible through the food court's glass partition. Shoppers glide up and down peacefully, unaware of any danger. "We need to warn people. Call security, maybe." Jake runs his fingers through his dark hair. "And tell them what? That my friend had a psychic vision?" The mechanical sound grows louder in Emma's ears. She notices a maintenance worker near the escalator, checking something on a tablet. Her heart pounds as she remembers the uniformed figure from her vision, the one who could not stop the disaster. "Look, I know you think I'm losing it," Emma says, standing abruptly. "But I can't just sit here. You guys go to the movie. I'm going home." As she walks away, the grinding noise follows her, echoing off the mall's marble floors and glass storefronts. Behind her, Jake and Sarah exchange worried glances before hurrying to catch up. The first attempt to leave proves futile. The parking garage elevator is out of order, and the stairwell door is locked for maintenance. Emma feels trapped, as if the mall itself is conspiring to keep her there. Emma leads Jake and Sarah toward the west exit, desperate to escape the mall's confines. The November afternoon sun streams through the skylights, casting long shadows across the polished floors. The usual California warmth feels oppressive inside the enclosed space. "The car's on level 3, Jake says, checking his phone. "We can take the stairs near Jack Penny." As they approach the stairwell, Emma notices the wet floor signs scattered around the area. A maintenance crew is mopping, and the scent of industrial cleaner burns her nostrils. The lead worker, a middle-aged man with tired eyes, blocks their path. "Sorry, folks, stairwell's closed for deep cleaning. Chemical spill earlier. You'll need to use the other exit." He gestures toward the escalator area. Emma's blood runs cold. How long until it's open? Couple hours, at least. Safety protocols, you know? Sarah checks her watch. "We'll miss the movie anyway. Let's just go around." As they walk away, Emma hears it again, that grinding mechanical sound, now accompanied by a rhythmic clicking that seems to match her footsteps. She glances back and sees the maintenance worker watching them, his expression unreadable. They try the north exit next, but it's blocked by a delivery truck unloading merchandise for Best Buy. The driver, a burly man in a company uniform, shakes his head when they approach. Can't move for another hour, sorry. Big shipment today. He wipes sweat from his forehead, despite the mall's air conditioning. Department store deliveries always take forever. Emma feels walls closing in around her. Every exit seems deliberately blocked, as if some invisible force is hurting them toward the escalator. The mechanical sounds grow louder, more insistent. There's always the south entrance, Jake suggests, though he's starting to look concerned about Emma's increasing agitation. They head through the main corridor, passing Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works. The crowd has thickened as the afternoon shoppers arrive. Emma notices how many people are gravitating toward the center escalator, drawn by a weekend sale banner that wasn't there earlier. Near the GameStop, they encounter another obstacle. A photo shoot is in progress. Local teen models posing for a back-to-school campaign. Bright lights and camera equipment block the walkway, while curious onlookers gather to watch. "Excuse me," Sarah says to a photographer's assistant. "We need to get through." 5 more minutes, the young woman replies without looking up from her tablet. "We're almost done with this setup." Emma watches the models laugh and pose, so young and alive, unaware of the danger lurking nearby. The mechanical grinding is so loud now she's surprised others can't hear it. It seems to be coming from the walls themselves. That's when she notices the pattern. Every blocked exit, every delay, is pushing them closer to the escalator area. The sound isn't random mechanical noise. It's counting down, like a timer ticking toward 0. "We need to find another way out," Emma says urgently. "Now." The photo shoot finally wraps up, but by the time they squeeze through the crowd, Emma notices something that makes her heart sink. A temporarily closed sign now hangs across the south entrance. Through the glass doors, she can see workers installing new security equipment. "This is insane," Jake mutters. "It's like the mole doesn't want us to leave." Sarah tries to stay rational. There has to be another exit. What about the one by Sears? They backtrack through the lower level, passing the pretzel stand where the scent of cinnamon and salt mingles with the recycled air. Emma's anxiety peaks as they approach the Sears wing. It's under renovation, blocked by construction barriers and plastic sheeting. A security guard notices their confusion. He's an older man with kind eyes and a slight southern accent. "Y'all looking for a way out?" Most exits are having work done today. Escalator to the second level. Then you can use the sky bridge to the parking structure. Emma's worst fear confirmed. Every path leads back to the escalator. "Isn't there any other way?" she asks, trying to keep the desperation from her voice. The guard shakes his head sympathetically. "Not today, miss. Sorry for the inconvenience. Should all be back to normal by Monday." As they walk back toward the center court, Emma notices more details that unsettle her. The number of people converging on the escalator area, the way the lighting seems dimmer near that section, and most disturbing of all, the maintenance worker from earlier is now standing directly beside the escalator, tablet in hand, as if waiting for something. The mechanical grinding has evolved into a complex rhythm, clicks, whirs, and metallic groans that seem to pulse with malevolent life. Emma realizes she's been hearing the escalator's death song, the sound it will make when it transforms from helpful machine to deadly trap. "Maybe we should wait," she suggests weakly. "Find a coffee shop. Kill some time until the other exit's open." But fate isn't finished hurting them. The Starbucks has a burst pipe, flooding the seating area. The Barnes and Noble Cafe is closed for inventory. Even the small phone repair kiosk where they might have lingered has a sign, "Back in 30 minutes." Jake checks his phone. "My mom's expecting me home for dinner. Can't really wait around much longer." Sarah nods. "And I have that student council meeting at 7. Emma looks around the mall, her temporary prison, and realizes that every delay, every blocked exit, every closed business has been orchestrating this moment. The mechanical sounds crescendo as if the building itself is hungry, waiting to feed. They stand at the base of the escalator, looking up at the innocent-looking steps that carry shoppers smoothly to the second level. Families with strollers, elderly couples, teenagers laughing together, all trusting their lives to the mechanical stairs. The maintenance worker taps his tablet screen. A small light blinks on his equipment. He looks directly at Emma, and for a terrifying moment, she thinks she sees recognition in his eyes, as if he knows exactly what's about to happen. "Come on," Jake says, stepping onto the first step. "It's just an escalator." Emma's foot hovers over the first step as every instinct screams at her to run. The metallic steps gleam under the fluorescent lights, their rubber treads worn smooth by countless shoppers. The handrail moves with its familiar mechanical rhythm, but to Emma, it sounds like a countdown. "You okay?" Sarah asks, already 2 steps up. "You're really pale." Emma forces herself onto the escalator, gripping the handrail so tightly her knuckles turn white. The ride up feels eternal, each step a small eternity where disaster might strike. She studies every rivet, every joint, looking for signs of the malfunction she witnessed in her vision. Halfway up, a child drops his toy car. It bounces down the steps with a metallic clatter that makes Emma jump. The sound echoes her premonition perfectly, the first note in the symphony of destruction she witnessed. The boy's mother laughs as she retrieves the toy, completely unaware of how close that sound came to Emma's nightmare. "Hey, look at this," Jake says, pointing to his phone. He's checking social media while riding up. Typical teenager behavior that now seems ominous. There was an escalator accident in Chicago last month. Guy's shoelace got caught. Emma's vision blurs with panic. "Don't say that." "Sorry, didn't mean to freak you out more." They reach the top safely. Emma stumbles off the escalator, legs shaking with relief. The second level of the mall stretches before them anchor stores, specialty shops, and the sky bridge to the parking garage that represents freedom. But her relief is short-lived. The sky bridge entrance is roped off with yellow caution tape. A handwritten sign reads, "Bridge inspection in progress. Reopens at 6 p.m. Through the glass, Emma can see workers in hard hats examining the structure's supports. "That's another hour," Sarah notes, checking the time. "Maybe we should." A loud grinding noise erupts from behind them. Emma spins around to see the escalator shuddering to a halt. Sparks fly from the mechanical housing at the base. Shoppers stranded on the steps look around in confusion as the metal stairs lock in place. The maintenance worker from downstairs appears at the top of the escalator with his toolkit. "Everyone off, please," he announces calmly. "Minor technical difficulty. We'll have it running in just a few minutes." Emma watches in horror as he opens an access panel and begins working on the internal mechanisms. This is exactly how her vision began routine maintenance that would go catastrophically wrong. "We need to warn people," she whispers to Jake. "When he starts it up again, something terrible will happen." Jake looks skeptical until he sees the maintenance worker's hands shaking as he handles the tools. The man seems nervous, uncertain. Nothing like the confident technician his uniform suggests he should be. More shoppers gather at the top of the escalator, waiting for repairs to finish. A group of teenage girls with shopping bags, an elderly couple holding hands, a young father with his toddler, all potential victims of what Emma knows is coming. The mechanical grinding resumes as the worker attempts to restart the system. Emma hears it, that specific sequence of sounds from her vision. The escalator lurches back to life, and the first few people step on cautiously. "It's starting," Emma says, grabbing her friend's arms. "We have to get everyone away from here." But how do you tell strangers that a psychic vision warned you they're about to die? How do you convince a crowd to avoid a machine that appears to be working perfectly? The escalator runs smoothly for 30 seconds. Then Emma hears it, the grinding, gnashing sound that means the mechanical teeth are about to emerge. "Everyone get off the escalator," Emma shouts, her voice cracking with desperation. Something's wrong with it. The shoppers look at her with confusion and annoyance. A well-dressed woman with designer bags shakes her head. "It's working fine, honey. Calm down." But Jake and Sarah see the terror in Emma's eyes and know she has never been wrong when this frightened. They start helping her warn people, though most ignore them or push past impatiently. The maintenance worker glares at Emma. "Miss, please don't cause unnecessary panic. The escalator is functioning normally." Emma notices his name tag. M. Graves, Senior Technician. Something about the name chills her even more than the mechanical grinding that is growing louder by the second. She looks at his toolkit and sees tools that don't belong, instruments that seem designed to sabotage rather than repair. The elderly couple finally steps off, spooked by Emma's warnings. The teenage girls reluctantly follow, muttering about crazy people at the mall. But others remain, including the young father who's struggling with his stroller and can't easily turn around. "Sir, please, just wait a few minutes," Sarah pleads. "Take the elevator instead." "The elevator's broken," he replies, gesturing to the out-of-order sign that Emma swears wasn't there 10 minutes ago. "This is the only way down." The grinding sound reaches a crescendo. Emma sees the exact moment when the escalator's steps will begin to collapse inward, creating the mechanical mouth that will swallow anyone caught on the moving stairs. She has maybe 30 seconds before the disaster unfolds exactly as she witnessed. In desperation, she grabs the emergency stop button on the side panel. The escalator lurches to a halt again, throwing the father off balance but preventing the catastrophe she foresaw. "Hey!" the maintenance worker shouts. "You can't do that. This is vandalism." Mall security arrives, 2 guards responding to the commotion. The same older guard from earlier approaches Emma with concern rather than authority. "Miss, what seems to be the problem?" "The escalator's going to malfunction," Emma says quickly. "I know how this sounds, but people are going to get hurt if—" "She hit the emergency stop," the maintenance worker interrupts, "disrupting my repairs. I need her removed from the area." Emma looks at his toolkit again and notices something that makes her blood freeze. The tools are, and for maintenance at all. They're designed to create mechanical failures, to turn normal equipment into death traps. This isn't an accident waiting to happen. It's sabotage. "Check his ID," Emma tells the security guard. "I don't think he really works here." The maintenance worker's face changes, shifting from annoyed professionalism to something much darker. He reaches for his toolkit, but the security guard is already moving, his hand on his radio. "Central, this is Rodriguez. I need backup at the center escalator. Possible security issue." The fake maintenance worker bolts, abandoning his toolkit and disappearing into the crowd. The security guards give chase, but he knows the mall's layout and vanishes into the maze of service corridors. Emma opens the abandoned toolkit with trembling hands. Inside, she finds devices clearly designed to jam escalator safety mechanisms, create false emergency stops, and trigger the exact type of malfunction she witnessed in her vision. "You saved everyone," Jake says quietly, looking at the evidence. But Emma's relief is short-lived. As the real maintenance crew arrives to examine the escalator, she hears it again, that grinding mechanical sound. It's not coming from the escalator anymore. It's coming from somewhere else in the mall, growing louder and more insistent. The sound of destiny, refusing to be denied. The real maintenance team declares the escalator safe after discovering and removing the sabotage devices. Mall security escorts Emma, Jake, and Sarah to the office to give statements about the fake technician. By the time they finish, the sky bridge has reopened and most of the mall's exits are accessible again. "You're a hero," the security chief tells Emma as they prepare to leave. "That man was wanted in 3 other states for similar incidents. Your warning probably saved dozens of lives." Emma should feel vindicated, relieved, but the mechanical grinding sound still echoes in her ears. As they walk toward the sky bridge, She realizes the sound isn't random, it's following her, staying just at the edge of perception, like a predator stalking its prey. The sky bridge offers a panoramic view of the San Jose skyline, the Santa Clara Valley stretching toward distant mountains. The sun is setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. It's beautiful and peaceful, yet Emma can't shake the feeling that something is still wrong. Finally, Sarah sighs as they enter the parking garage. I thought we'd never get out of there. Jake's car is parked on level 3, near the exterior wall where natural light filters through the concrete structure. The sound of traffic from the street below mingles with the echo of their footsteps. Emma notices how empty this section of the garage is. Most shoppers park closer to the mall entrance. As they approach Jake's Honda Civic, Emma hears it clearly now. The grinding mechanical sound isn't coming from the mall at all. It's coming from the parking garage's infrastructure, from the very foundations of the building they're walking through. She looks up at the concrete ceiling and sees hairline cracks radiating from the support beams. The structure is older than it appears, and the recent construction work has stressed the foundation beyond its limits. The grinding sound is concrete settling, steel supports shifting under impossible weight. "We need to get out of here," Emma says, but her voice lacks its earlier urgency. She's tired of being the girl who cries disaster, exhausted from fighting fate all day. They reach the car just as the first chunk of concrete falls, landing 10 feet away with a crack like thunder. Jake fumbles with his keys while Emma and Sarah look up at the ceiling in growing alarm. More concrete rains down as the parking structure begins its slow collapse. The mechanical grinding becomes a roar as decades of structural stress finally reach the breaking point. Car alarms blare throughout the garage as debris impacts windshields and hoods. The stairs. Sarah shouts, pointing toward the stairwell they passed moments earlier. They run as the ceiling continues to crumble above them. Emma realizes with bitter irony that she spent all day trying to avoid death at the escalator, only to face it here in the parking garage. Fate had simply been patient, allowing her to save others before claiming what it was owed. A massive section of the ceiling breaks free directly overhead. Emma pushes Jake and Sarah toward the stairwell as the concrete descends like a slow-motion avalanche. She feels a moment of strange peace, knowing her friends will escape, knowing her premonition served its purpose even if she couldn't save herself. The last thing Emma hears before the darkness takes her is not the crash of concrete, but silence. The mechanical grinding finally stops, its countdown complete.